Hello there everybody and welcome to Blue Moon Bay for the final round of the endurance series that's been brought to you by MVP Racing. I haven't done round 4. I will try and get that done as soon as I can get hold of the replay. I haven't actually got hold of the replay at the moment, so I'll try and get that done as soon as possible. But obviously this is the final round of the Endurance of the Americas Championship. Unfortunately, a little bit of a smaller grid for tonight, or for when the race was done, which was about a week ago. I'm sorry I'm so behind on the live streams. I've just been a little bit busy. But I'm sure we've got a great race lined up for you guys, and I'm really looking forward to commentating on it. Joining us for the race, we've got Nagy, KB, Splash, Pants, Stu Shelton, Brian, Dixon, Groot and Deno. So again, looking like we've got a lower amount of the IGT-SH drivers, and also we're missing TKM Spadders as well. So let's go to the replay and let's have a look at the grid. Just pause that quickly and just quickly grab get all the race info up. So on pole position we have, I don't remember seeing him there, but we got I don't know how to pronounce that, so Zoiti. I'm going to go with Soiti. I'm not looking forward to trying to pronounce that, but Soiti on pole position. Then we got Nagy, obviously. Big Dave has been right at the front all championship, and I think he is currently leading the championship coming into this final round, which is true, and he's actually got a decent margin over his opponents as well, which next in line is KB, who's lining up in P3. And we got P4 is MVP Pants, and Stu Shelton rounds out starts row number 3. We've got Splash alongside him on row 3, and Dixon and Groot, Pilo, Deno and Brian rounds out the 11 car field here at Blue Moon Bay. So yeah, I think Splash will be a little bit disappointed with his qualifying. He started off this championship with a victory, and he's not looked as strong since then, to be honest. So hopefully he can have a good race, but let's start the grid as the engine notes begin to rise here. 5 red lights here at Blue Moon Bay now goes out, and it's a great start there from Nagy on the outside, and there's a lot of wheel spin from the pole to Sudi as they all go into turn 1. That's 3 abreast here. KB, Zuti and Nagy, but Nagy goes all the way around the outside and takes the lead here with KB still side by side here for second place, but just slots in behind. Pants is into 4. We've got Splash, Dixon making a good start. Stu Shelton dropping a couple of places with Brian. Deno, Pilo at Groot has gone, is facing the wrong way, so that's a bad start here from Groot, and Splash is trying to challenge Dixon into the first hairpin for the first time here, but Dixon's up the inside of MVP Pants and he's gone through. We've got a driver on the outside line there as well. That was Stu Shelton, but they're still side by side of Dixon and Pants. Pants will now have the inside line into the second hairpin and gets the job done on him. So this very hard battling, and Dixon's back up the inside into the final corner and gets the job back. So these two can't stop swapping. A bit of a swap ends from MVP Pants on the exit of that corner, and now Splash is now on the attack here as he's looking to go all the way around the outside. He's going to now have the slipstream of Dixon in front of him, and that's surely going to get the job done unless Pants wants to try and challenge into turn 1. And Stu Shelton also looking to challenge. Of course, all these drivers are probably going to be on different tyres here, as MVP Pants is right under the rear wing of AXR Splash, as we're going to go on board here with AXR Splash. Looking back at MVP Pants, we've got Brian and Stu Shelton just behind as well. A little bit laggy from a couple of drivers, and actually we've got quite a few drivers have dropped back here. I think Ellis Dano looks like it's one of them, so too Pilo, and obviously down the inside goes Stu Shelton. He looks for the open door, can't seem to find it, and he's gone sideways. He's hit the wall on the inside. That is a bad bad couple of corners there from Stu Shelton, but Splash holds on to 5th. Dixon's in 4th. MVP KB is in 3rd. Then we've got Suti in 2nd on his racing mediums, and Nagy leading the way here. Both of these drivers on the racing mediums. We've got KB on the racing hards, racing mediums for Dixon, Splash on the racing hards, Pants on the racing medium, Brian on the racing mediums, Deno is on the racing mediums, Stu Shelton is on the racing mediums, Pilo racing mediums, and racing hards for Groot. So only 3 drivers, I think, on the racing hards. Is that a different livery there from LS? It is a different livery, a nice red livery there from LS Deno. So a little bit of variation for the final round here from LS Deno. I'd probably be happy to get rid of that Lexus. Right, let's go up the field here. It's still very close here. MVP Pants is pretty much pushing Splash along, and KB, I think, has had some sort of incident here because he's dropped right into the clutches of XR Splash, who is also on the racing hards. These two on the racing hards with Pants on the racing mediums behind. I don't know if there was any sort of incident between himself and Dixon, because Dixon's obviously trying to charge through as much as possible because he is on the racing mediums. But there is no current damage from KB. It might have been beforehand. It's already into the pits comes XR Splash. He's done 3 laps on those racing hards and he wants to get rid of them straight away. Obviously, you need to do at least 3 laps on the racing hards before you can change onto another set of tyres, unless you want to have to jump back on them again, especially with the racing hards. You don't want to be going too long on these tyres. Now, I have got no information on this circuit, in these cars, on these tyres. I do know the circuit, unlike a lot of the other circuits. As Brian goes wide, he's going to scrub the wall here. Manager's just about to hold on to it. But my question is, because they're pitting so early, are they trying for a 3-stop race? We saw, I think it was Stu Shelton do that at Laguna Seca. As they go side by side, Brian and MVP Deno. Deno will be looking to maybe for a switchback or to go all the way around the outside. Can he hold on to it? They're still side by side here. MVP Deno on the outside, Brian on the inside. Can he do the switch back? You think he can. He's back underneath him. He's going to have the inside line here onto the main straight. And now they're going to be side by side into turn 1. And this is surely giving easy pickings here as KB's also in. That's interesting. But the straight line speed of the Mercedes has just allowed it, Brian, just to get back in front. But Deno decided to go dive into the inside here, into turn 1. Yes, he does. Can he hold on to it? Oh, no, he drops too wide here. And Brian's going to get back underneath him again. It's switcheroo once again. And Brian's now got the inside line. And Deno won't be able to hold it around the outside. There's a little bit of lag mid-corner there. And now, closing is Stu Shelton. So obviously Stu Shelton had a bit of a half spin on the exit of the first hairpin. He's managed to catch back up to these jostling pair. It's a good little bit of racing here, but it's losing them both time. As they now come through the first hairpin. That was very wide there from Brian. And again, Deno's going to be on the outside line here. This could be an opportunity for Stu Shelton, but he gets back underneath him. Just MVP Deno is now going to have the inside line, but he can't quite get underneath it. I don't know if that was lag or contact or anything, but Brian is lagging all over the place. He hits the outside wall though, and now that's going to allow MVP Deno and Stu Shelton to get right on him. I don't know if there was any damage there from Brian. No, there wasn't. But yes, things are looking quite interesting as Stu Shelton's up the inside of MVP Deno, and he's going to get through on MVP Deno. Is he going to draft out wide? But MVP Deno is still on the outside here. They're side by side. Stu Shelton and Ellis Deno side by side into the end of the first sector. Stu Shelton just backs out just in time here. I just saw a couple of people join the... Oh, they're both wide here on the exit of... Oh, what the hell just happened to Ellis Deno? I'm not quite sure what just happened there. I don't know if... Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, right, okay. So let's go through the field. He seems like he retired out of the blue, but it's still Suzuki leading the way here to Nagy. He's trying to break the slipstream there on the main straight, and it's not just about going out there. I've got a message on the chat, so let's have a look if I can actually see what's. Maybe they can give you a little bit more of an insight. The guys who are watching at the moment. Thank you for censoring that out. That was no swearing in the chat, please, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, so Suzuki, I don't know. Why has it got to be such a complicated name? Nagy in second, Big Dave in second. Then we've got Dixon in third, with MVP Pants not too far behind here. So I don't know if he's going to try and close up his MVP Pants. He's got a little bit less tyre wear, which is a great thing for him, especially as you want to try and minimise the amount of tyre wear on the softs and mediums, so you can do the least possible amount of time on the softs. And then we got Brian there in 5th, Stu Shelton in 6th, Pilo is in 7th, Splash is in 8th on the soft tyres, KB is also on the soft in 9th, Groot in 10th, also on the softs. So we've got Suzuki leading the way here, and he's holding a similar sort of margin between himself and Nagy. We've got Dixon there in 3rd, and he is really eating through his front tyres, this Dixon. Things aren't looking great for him in that Toyota. MVP Pants has been gapped slightly, I think, from him, but it's just going to come back to him with the tyre wear there. Brian is very similar on the tyre wear to the front, to the other drivers, apart from obviously Dixon, who has eaten through them. Stu Shelton has eaten through them a little bit more, those racing mediums. Splash, KB and Groot. Now Splash has currently got the fastest lap of the race here, with a 105.810, and it's now started to really just spread out a little bit. So I'm going to use this time to talk to you guys about the new MVP Championship that will be coming soon, which is a series that we'll be going into the Asia Pacific region, the Asia Pacific Endurance Championship. It's going to be a multi-class championship this time. So Group 3 and Group 4, GT3 and GT4 cars with 6 rounds, and that'll be on Sundays, unless announced otherwise between now and then. If you're not following our Facebook page, make sure you do, because all the information about any of our championships are posted on there. But I'm sure everyone who's watching this is following us. And that'll be non-tune answer performance, and it'll be a 1.5 hour race. Okay, so again it's spreading out a little bit, and I might go on, and it has spread out a little bit, and there's no real action on the circuit here. We've got a little bit close between Brian and Stu Shelton, but it's not overly close. Stu Shelton's eating through his tyres a little bit, so obviously pushing a little bit harder than he would be. But I think we should go on board with a car and just talk you through the lap here at Blue Moon. And we're going to go on board with MVP Pants. We've got Dixon just in the distance there, but we've now come through the first corner, the last corner, the last bank turn, and we're now going to come towards the start finish line and start lap number 11. So we come through this corner. It's a shallow, it's a small entry, and it tightens up on exit and then opens back out again. It's got to hit that late apex, and now we head through into the start of this, and it's just a dab on the brakes. Make sure you don't understeer too far wide, and then dab on the brakes again. You've got to use as much track as possible on the curbs, because if you just miss it slightly, you've got to get you've got to delay the power input as much as possible. Now breakage, sort of on the old game, it was just by the shadow, but obviously with the shadows moving, it made it a little bit awkward. So it's between the 150 metre board and into this left hand, you brake sort of just on the edge of the curb. Late apex on the power as early as possible, and now this left hand, and this is where a lot of mistakes are made. You were turning too early and hit the inside wall, but that was done absolutely perfectly for MVP fans. Not hitting the inside wall, not hitting the outside wall, and just cutting the perfect amount of track. And that you're completing a very short Blue Moon Bay lap, and that's a 107.449. Only 4 tenths off his fastest, so good consistency here from MVP Pants. But yeah, things are quite spread out here. The closest sort of battle we've got here is Brian and Stu Shelton, but they're not really within striking range of each other at the moment. And this can be the issue sometimes with endurance races. It can be exciting just to see sort of the strategy being implemented, but especially when the sort of at the end of championships it fizzles out and people can't make events. Obviously you've got less action going on, and I've got a bit more full on trying to think of things to talk about. But here, these two are starting to get a little closer here, so maybe Stu Shelton is looking up to edge up and move here, as he is a lot closer here. He was a very shallower line into that second hairpin, and actually catching him in the background on the soft tyres, we have got AXR Splash. So he'll be joining the fray in a second, in a few laps' time, I am sure. Now I'm not quite sure what the tyre wear's like, because it's either going to be really high, which is cool, which is why the likes of Splash and KB have put it early and maybe trying to do a 2-stop race, or it is quite small, which is allowing drivers to do what is minimum on the racing hard tyres. So I think we'll just have to wait and see. We are just under a quarter of the way through the race so far. But AXR Splash is closing, and we're going to go on board with Stu Shelton, looking at the back of Brian. Brian is still very, very laggy here. So yeah. So we've got Suti, Nagy, Dixon, Pants, Brian, Stu Shelton, Splash, KB, Groot. But obviously drivers on the softs, and Groot is really eating through his front right tyre here, and the way that he has eaten through that front right in not long time at all is saying to me, is it a potential 3-stop race? And Splash is also eaten through his front right. Now KB's got the current fastest lap of the race. That's very close to the wall here from Splash. But yeah, KB's done one less lap on the soft, to be fair. But Splash is closing up on this battle ahead. We will go back on board here with Stu Shelton. So we now head into the first hairpin. But looking at the tyre well on those front tyres of the AXR guys, are they really just pushing it to the maximum and doing a 3-stop race, which will be interesting to see here. It might spice things up a little bit, because at the moment it looks like no one's going to get the better of Nagy and Suzuki. But we'll have to wait and see. Stu Shelton can't quite get close enough for an overtake as of yet. As they go down the start-finish straight for another lap. Stu Shelton though is looking towards the inside, or maybe it's just a slightly different line, just trying to get in the mirrors, but we can see here in the background Splash is closing. So yeah, this is getting quite interesting, and actually the pace advantage Splash seems to have, it doesn't seem like it's a bad idea. Doing it because these guys aren't on the hards, they're on the mediums, And Splash has almost already got a full pit stop ahead of these guys. So maybe it's not a bad idea to go all guns blazing. And he looks towards the inside here. He wants to dispatch these guys quickly. It's looking more and more like maybe Splash is going for a three-stop race. And this is going to really spice things up, I think. With Splash going on the three-stop. Is he going to be able to challenge into turn number 1? We're on board here with Splash. Coming into turn 1, is he going to go for the move? He can't go for it as of yet. It's a very shallow line there from Stu Shelton, which meant Splash couldn't really challenge. But surely it's just a matter of time before Splash does get through here. As there's Stu Shelton is deciding to defend from Splash here, and this is just going to allow KB, who's the car behind these guys, just to edge in even more. Actually, because of this battling as well, Brian is getting away. Is he going to go for the move on the inside of that first hairpin? Yes, he does, and I think he is through. Yeah, that is job done there or is it? Because Stu Shelton has it back on the inside line. Can't get the job back on him. But I think that is just a losing battle here with the car advantage that Splash has. And obviously Splash is a race winner in this championship as well. MVP KB is next up to try and take advantage of Stu Shelton on the slightly less sticky tyres. And now Splash is going to divert his attention to Brian unless Stu Shelton tries something into turn 1. Splash just covers his line slightly and Stu Shelton takes the racing line. But yes. Through the S's now, and Stu Shelton is just sitting there, just in behind Splash. We got KB is also closing. KB is looking actually even quicker than Splash was looking. We go on board with KB as we now head under the bridge, braking. Scotland's braking nicely, just hitting that middle apex and then getting on the power nice and easily. Just preventing as much wheel spin as possible, and it's a very shallow line compared to Stu Shelton. Stu Shelton was quite a wide line here, but looking up ahead, Splash is looking very close to Stu Shelton. We're very close to Brian here. We're going to go on board with Brian, looking back at AXR Splash. Can he get the job done as we head towards the first corner? Not this time around. Let's have a quick look at the fuel levels. So Splash is looking quite low on fuel. He's looking to the inside, can't get it done there. KB is looking very good on fuel here. KB, we got yellow. Dixon's had an off. Dixon's had a big off as well. Because he's got a lot of damage here. We got yellow flags, they're all passing him. Something's happening to Stu Shelton because KB is overtaking Stu Shelton. That is disaster for Dixon. He's got an awful lot of damage to Dixon, and now Stu Shelton will be having to pass him as well. Stu Shelton got any damage? No, he hasn't. Dixon's tyres are already almost done on his medium tyres. He's not even done 20 minutes yet. And that front right is looking quite badly worn here. Here comes KB. He's literally on the back of Splash here, as Splash is now on the inside and passing Brian. So Splash now takes P4, and what's happening? Suti has had an off in the same place that his teammate just had, and now Nagy now has the lead. Oh, okay. So these two are clear of MVP Pants. Now we just got to see, because obviously we're not sure how these two sort of line up in the strategy terms of things compared to MVP KB and AXR Splash. Obviously KB is now past Brian, he's up on the inside into the first hairpin, but something obviously happened to Suzuki. I haven't got the clue, I'm sorry if I'm scuffing your name. I just have not got the foggiest idea on how to pronounce that. Brian's still lagging about all over the place. Now the question is, does KB sit behind Splash, or does he decide that he wants to push his own air? Because he can just sit in the slipstream, save even more fuel, because we do know that Splash has got some half decent pace around here, and I think this is probably where everyone is actually closest around this circuit, because everyone knows this circuit reasonably well. Splash's tyres are almost dead. They're certainly looking nowhere near as good as KB's, so Splash has really killed his front right, which confirms to me the way he has eaten through that front right. He is doing a three-stop strategy. Still not quite sure where KB sits in all of this, because he might still be doing a three-stop strategy, or he might be doing a two-stop, who knows. But he really has eaten through that front right, which just confirms to me, because he's not going to go to the end on the medium tyres. There is no way, because he's only going to get a few more laps out of those out of those soft tyres. There's no way he's going to get to the end on the medium tyres with the state of those tyres. MVP Pants is being caught by these two, and it does look like Splash is probably going to sort of be ahead by the end of the race if he is doing a free stop compared to MVP Pants, because he's almost caught up a pit stop to Pants. But with the pace of these two up front and the length they have drawn these medium tyres out, things are looking quite good for them. Now obviously we don't know where they line up compared to KB, but things are still looking reasonably good for these two out front, and Nagy is looking decent. It looks like he's got a decent chance of getting yet another victory in this championship. Groot looks like he's had another mare of a race so far, because he's already coming a lap down here, is Groot. Has he had another pit stop? He has. Okay, so Groot has already pitted for the medium tyres and will not be going to the end, because we're not even at half distance here. So Groot still got another stop, so he is definitely going for a free stop strategy. There is no doubt about that. We got Splash and KB still very close together, but Splash has got to pit soon because he's very, very low on fuel. And then we've got MVP KB, who's still got a decent amount of fuel and a decent amount of tyres here. And I feel like he is just sitting in behind Splash, which isn't a bad thing, because Splash, we know, is going all guns blazing here because he is doing that free stop strategy. So KB has just grabbed a rope, tied it to the back of Splash's rear spoiler, and is just sitting there. And probably Pants is actually doing the same here, because yes, we got blue flags, but Splash is, Groot is on fresh medium tyres, and Pants is on reasonably warm, although he's still got a decent amount of tyre wear on those tyres. So I don't know what's quite going on here with Groot and Splash, but they have really eaten through those tyres a lot quicker than anyone else on the grid, apart from Dixon, because Dixon was also eating through his tyres, and that's a little bit of a moment there from AXR Group, who really is trying to take the maximum out of those tyres. And KB is looking very close once again to Splash, but does Splash decide to pit? Yes, he does. The Splash is into the pits here, and is going to either go on the softs or the mediums, and then we'll have one more pit stop. And it's interesting because they're probably going to beat Pants, I reckon. I think KB might still be on a two-stop, you know, which he's not looking half bad. I just don't know how long the pit stops are on this circuit, and whether Nagy and Suzuki will line up compared to KB. That, because these guys are completely out of sync of each other. is major. I don't know how much fuel Zuti has, but I think he's just ran out. And he just hit the wall coming in. Oh, that brings back memories because, of course, he's got big engine damage, big car damage, and he might be out of fuel. And I think he might be. KB has already passed him. We got into the pits is Stu Shelton. And Zuti hits the wall trying to get into the pits. He's trying to get out of the way of everyone. His damage has been repaired, but he's not on full speed, which says to me, very close with his teammate Dixon, that he is also out of fuel. And I have not... Andy retires. Oh, it's been a while since we've seen something like that in the MVP racing. Last time I've seen something like that was KB in season 4, season 5 of the BGWT. KB hit the wall, trying to. I think he was trying to dummy going into the pits while drivers were close and following him very closely, which was at Stardegna. And it's happened here by the driver who was looking quite comfortable in second place. He might be battling for KB in third, but wow, that's a shake-up and a half. KB is now starting to look quite his tyres are starting to look quite badly worn now. His group puts a wheel on the grass, but manages just about to stay on. Brian is into the pits. Nagy will be into the pits here, and his tyres have lasted, so his fuel has lasted about 28 minutes, and his tyres have pretty much lasted there as well. So Nagy is into the pits, will be sticking on probably the hards, and then going on to the softs to the end. So, quick pit stop for Nagy, obviously wheels off and then fuel in for Nagy, and it'll be interesting to see where he sits compared to KB. KB now passes, but of course that's a very, very short fill there from Nagy. He's gone on to the hard. I was going to say the mediums? He did say the mediums to start with. I don't know what's going on with the tyre wear there. That was very odd indeed. But obviously KB's in soon. Are we going to have another showdown like we did at Laguna Seca? So KB's got to try and extend that gap as much as possible compared to Nagy there in the very, very similar on fuel loads. KB's obviously on worn softs, so he's going to try and extend that gap, and hopefully Groot gets out of the way as soon as possible, because Groot has got blue flags here on a car behind. It's on the softer tyres, so blue flag. Come on, Groot, get out of the way here. He waved a lot of blue flags here, and the dirty air is being thrown out at KB. Dixon is also now in, and he's taken every last bit out of those racing mediums. He's had a few incidences as well, and also eaten up all the fuel. Pants is also in. He hasn't eaten through all his fuel, and he decides to box at the end of this lap. So I think what I'm seeing here is KB is on a 2-stop. Groot and Splash are on a 3-stop. Groot is still not getting out of the way here of a driver that is a lap up on him. Now he gets out of the way. KB flashes lights in a bit of frustration. Or does he get out of the way? Yes, he does, yeah. Okay, cool. I think that was a little bit frustrating. We're probably starting to come about on KB, because he's definitely in the race for the victory here. And it's going to come down to it, like it did at Laguna Seca, between Nagy versus KB. KB will be on the medium tyres and Nagy will be chasing down on the softs. And it is deja vu, just like Laguna Seca. I wonder if it's going to end in the same way that it did at Laguna Seca. KB is now in from his racing softs. How long will Nagy go on his racing hards? KB will probably max his fuel tank out. Nagy will be in the next couple of laps as well. So KB is filling his fuel tank up probably to the maximum here. This is going to be very interesting again between Nagy and KB. Splash is sitting in third, and I think that should be third in the bag for him, to be honest here, because he was almost a full pit stop ahead of his rival MVP Pants Brian and Stu Shelton. And Dixon has had a bit of a mare in the first stint. We have had a few retirements, which is unfortunate to see, of MVP Deno and also the driver that joined us for this final round. But does Nagy decide to pit on the end of this lap, or does he do another lap longer? He does another lap longer on his racing hards. KB has filled up his car to the brim. He's got Stu Shelton in front of him on the hard tyres, and hopefully he can, for KB's sake, he wants to try and get through on Stu Shelton as quickly as possible, but that looked like Stu Shelton covered it slightly, and now wants to look for the inside line, maybe into this into this tightening left-hander. He's got the inside line, and that is surely going to be job done. He clips the curb on the inside, and actually not had the best run through there. So this is time being lost here from KB. Surely he can get through on Stu Shelton on the exit here, get the slipstream and stream past on this straight, because Stu Shelton has got to remember he's in a completely different race here than KB. KB is battling for the victory, and Stu Shelton is battling Brian and the likes of MVP Pants for a top 5 finish. But KB now gets the job done and is now going to try and chase down Nagy as much as possible, because Splash is on a completely different strategy to KB here. Splash is on the racing mediums here. Nagy is now in, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the interest starts to happen here, because Nagy will be going to the softs at the end, and he'll be chasing down KB. I hope I haven't sort of buffed this up too much and then ends up Nagy's jumps KB in the pit stops. We'll have to wait and see, but let's look where KB is. He's just coming towards the last corner now. Nagy is just filling up his tank as much as he wants. Splash is also on a completely different strategy. He could try and extend his tyres. No, he's not going to get that fuel load to the end. Let's be honest here. Right, Nagy is still not out the pits yet, so KB takes the net race lead here at Blue Moon Bay. Now, what is the gap here? Because he is still in the pits. Right, okay. That is what we have got. Nagy now comes through first corner on his softs. There is KB coming through turn 2. That is the gap between the two net race lead, or the two first and second in the net race. So it is the same as what happened at Laguna Seca. Is it going to finish in the same way? We'll have to wait and see. Will we have drama in the final 5 minutes like Laguna Seca? Stu Shelton sitting in third, Brian sitting in fourth, Nagy in fifth, Pants in sixth, Root in seventh, Dixon in eighth, and we had another couple of retirements. Who else are we missing? Not Root, not Dixon. Pants is still there. Brian's still there. I don't know who we're missing. But it's only 8 runners in this race, which is a little bit of a shame here at Blue Moon Bay. So we lost Pilo, we've lost MVP Deno, and we've lost I can't even remember his name now, because it's why is such a difficult name to pronounce. Okay, now one thing we're gonna know for sure is Nagy will get the fastest lap here. He might not actually. He's going to try and get the fastest lap off KB. He's on the back of Brian here. Now, how quickly can he dispatch of Brian? He goes 400 quicker than his best. And it looks like he is being held up a little bit by Brian here, which is just going to help KB in the lead, in the net race lead of the race, net lead of the race. Brian is also on the softs, so we're going to put that in mind as well. So both of these drivers are on the softs. Stu Shelton's on the racing hards and will be coming in at the end of this lap, I think, looking at his fuel load. Oh, Nagy was looking towards the outside, couldn't get the job done. We're going to go on board with him here. Looking at the back of Brian, we got just 3,000ths of a second between, and that's wide there from Brian, and Nagy gets P4. So KB's just coming through the second hairpin, as Nagy is coming through the first. It's a bit of an uphill battle from KB, I'm not going to lie. Because those softs are very quick tyres. XR Splash, they're sitting in the race lead. He does still have to pit though onto the racing softs. KB in second, Stu Shelton in third, Nagy fourth, fifth is Brian, MVP Pants in sixth. He's still got the racing softs to put on. He's on racing hards at the moment in time. Group in seventh, still got the racing softs to put back on. And Dixon in eighth, and I think he's still got the racing hards to put on. As he goes very, very close to that outside wall there through the first corner. Back on board with Nagy. And Stu Shelton is defending into this corner. He's gone all the way around the outside as Nagy. Well, that was brave. I don't know if Stu Shelton was defending or let him by there. But Stu Shelton is now pitting. Okay. Stu Shelton's in from his hard tyres. Will now go on the softs to the end. I am sure that is where it's going to be. And then Brian has still got the hards to put on at the end of this stint. MVP Pants still yet to pit. And he'll be going on the softs to the end. When he does, Root still got to pit one more time. Dixon still going to pit. Still going to pit as well onto the hard tyres. And he is closing in on Groot. Looks like it might be a battle that's starting to brew up here, because obviously Dixon's got a slight advantage on his tyres. Still got a pit stop left. And this is a battle for sixth spot, but I think we're net P7 when everyone pits in. It's not been a great season for Groot. It really has not. It also hasn't been for Dixon either, to be honest. A lot of bad luck hitting Dixon, and I don't think the Toyota is really the car for the championship, and it's looking, to be honest, like the cars you want to be is either the Porsche or the Mercedes if you want to really be battling for those victories. Okay, so let's go through the field, and that is the gap between KB and Nagy. And the other thing that's interesting is Nagy has a lot more fuel on board than KB here, so he can really rev out that Porsche, where KB might have to edge out a little bit on his revs. We'll have to wait and see. Into the pits comes Groot, into the pits comes MVP Pants. And they'll be going onto the softs to the end. Splash is still yet to pit. I'm sure he will be soon. But into the pits comes MVP Pants. Into the pits comes Groot. Splash there leading the way here, and he'll surely is going to be pitting at the end of this one, which then means KB will then take the lead here. We got 18 minutes left to go this race. We don't know who's going to win, but KB has a bit of an uphill battle. It's not as difficult to overtake around this circuit than it was at Laguna Seca. And yes, the gap was smaller at Laguna Seca, but it is easier at Laguna Seca to keep a car behind, even if there is a massive advantage. So we really have hit a point in this race where nothing's really going on. It's happened a lot this race. So let's go to the chat. How is everyone in the chat doing today? It's it's not what I was expecting at Blue Moon. I thought there was going to be a little bit more action at Blue Moon. This was what I was going to expect at Laguna Seca. But actually, the action at Laguna Seca wasn't too bad. But it seemed like there was an equal distance, near enough, between every single car here, just spread around the whole circuit. There's no one at all near anyone here. So we're still unknown who's going to win this race between KB and Nagy, but KB has got a lot of work to do when Nagy catches up. Brian still needs yet to pit, so is Dixon. Splash will inherit the lead, third place, once those two pit. MVP Pants will then get fourth, I'm pretty sure. Brian will end up behind him. Then it's Stu Shelton, I think, will keep in behind in fifth. Then it'll be Brian, and then it'll be close between Groot and Dixon. But I think Groot might even be ahead of Dixon when the pit stops come. Or he might not. But Dixon will also have the hard tyres to put on, and that front right of his actually is not looking too healthy. So it might be a charge in the late race by Groot to chase down Dixon. I have to see, because obviously he's got a decent amount of fuel, so I don't actually think Dixon's going to need to refuel here. Nagy is closing. The battle is not far from us, ladies and gentlemen, here at Blue Moon Bay. And Nagy has also got the fastest lap of the race now. How's his tyre wear looking? His tyre wear's looking all okay. 15 minutes to go here at Blue Moon Bay. Nagy is in second. We've got Brian in third. He won't make it to the end on that fuel, but obviously he still has to pit on for the hards anyway. Whoa, Dixon is really pushing those tyres and pushing the track boundaries as well. He was inches away from the wall here, and he's 2 seconds down in his best as well as Dixon, which is not great, not what he wants with his battle with Groot for 8th place. He doesn't want to lose that much time. Splash and Pants, unless anything happens between either of them, they're going to be on their own, I think, for the rest of the race here. Stu Shelton, again, is also on his own. So we really have hit a stage in the race where things really do seem spread out, and These two at the front seem to be getting closer and closer, and it's good to see a different strategy here. And KB has got a lot of work to do to be able to keep Nagy behind here. I don't think it's going to happen. But that was a missed apex there from Nagy. So can he challenge here? Through the first left-hander and now into the right-hander. Putting a wheel on the grass on the exit there. But I think it is going to be a matter of time for Nagy just to take the victory here. It's a bit of a shame, this race. I was sort of having quite high expectations, but actually it's been probably the boringest race of the season here. Not really much is sort of going on. It's no one really that close. Obviously Nagy is closing in here onto the back of KB. That's the only thing that's really going on at this moment in time. It's going to be the only thing that's sort of going to happen between now and the end of the race, to be honest. So let's hope KB can hold back Nagy. We've got just over 10 minutes to go. Let's hope that KB can hold this lead to the last few laps. I don't know if he's going to be able to, but let's see if KB can park that bus. KB versus Nagy. Into the first corner. It's not quite close enough to challenge yet. Let's go on board. Looking back on KB here. Through turn 1. Nagy is getting closer and closer. But now is when the swoosh of dirty, obviously you get slipstream at this point, but you also get a little bit of a wash of dirty air. Can't get the nose in as much as you would want. So as you get the advantage, yes, of the slipstream, you get a disadvantage of dirty air. Nagy getting very close to the inside there of KB. That wasn't quite an overtaking spot, but Nagy is now going to be stuck on the outside. KB just blocks his entry there. That was very, very sneaky there from KB. KB is fighting this hard, ladies and gentlemen. He stops Nagy from turning in when he wanted to, and now Nagy has got to try and slipstream past through the first corner, but KB has just shown us he's not going to give it easy here. He tries to break the slipstream, he's breaking the toe. Nagy looking towards the outside here into turn 1. KB takes the racing line here as they now get on the brakes hard. Nagy, oh, was he into the back of KB there? KB is just about holding on there, but I'm not sure if Nagy was into the back of him. We're going to look back and once again from KB. I wasn't sure if Nagy was into the back of KB there, but he manages to, they keep position. So no no anything done there if anything did happen. Nagy getting very close once again into this corner here, but KB does not allow him to go by. Nagy, oh, looks to the inside here, and Nagy has now got the inside line, but KB is not going to let him have it easy. Nagy's going to have the inside line here, but he might drift out wide, and KB's going to look for the switchback. He looks for the switchback. He is right in the slipstream. Here is KB. We look on board with KB. He looks to the inside, now goes to the outside. He doesn't decide to give Nagy the squeeze on the inside, but he's going to look to try and get something done. Maybe try and show him the dummy, or try to go around the outside, or maybe the switchback. He's going to go for the switchback. It's KB, and he's back underneath him. KB is back for and into the lead. This is a great bit of a battle in here from these two. Respect is being given. And I was hoping that we were going to get some excitement here, and we have got it. Nagy is now trying to challenge, go on board here with Nagy into the first hairpin. Oh, there's a little bit of a moment there on the brakes there from KB, but he's now going to have the inside line into this hairpin. Can he park the pass? Oh, there's contact on the turn, and KB is saying, no, you're not going on my outside here. KB holds on. Nagy's now going to try and get back onto it. Nagy hits the outside wall of that, relieves a little bit of pressure for KB. Well, I was expecting a fight from KB, but this is a very, very strong fight, and KB wants this final race. Is Nagy going to allow him to have it, though? That is the question. Dixon has pitted, and is now just been done by Stu Shelton. So Stu Shelton is into 6th. Dixon is on the hards and is now just going to be chased down. Let's go back to this lead back. We've got a couple of corners here. Oh, okay, this is interesting, right? With all this battling, look at the tyre wear from Nagy. He doesn't. He wants to try and get by before his and not use up too much of his tyres, because his tyres will fall off the cliff if he's not careful. Through the final corner, and Nagy just about is trying to close up. I think he's just about got the slipstream here. KB is just breaking it. We get down the field. Splash is there in 3rd. Pants in 4th. Brian is in 5th. Stu Shelton is in 6th. Brian's on the hards and he's going to the end. So we'll see how that comes out. Dixon and Groot, those two will be close towards the end of the race, because Groot's on the soft and and Dixon is on the hard tyres. Right. I'll keep an eye on the mini-map, see if those guys ever get any closer. We'll keep our eyes focused on this battle for the league as Nagy's closing back on to the back of KB here. And it is going to come down to the final 5 minutes. Is it going to be Laguna Seca all over again? Nagy is very, very close to the rear wing of the Porsche in front of him. Obviously equal machinery, but Nagy has got soft tyres on compared to KB's hard. But who knows when those soft tyres of Nagy's are going to drop off. KB is desperately trying to break the slipstream. Is Nagy going to be close enough to make the dart to the inside into turn 1? He dummies to the inside, but it's not going to be enough. Oh no! What on earth happened here? I'm going to have a look at that from on board KB. Drops down the hill. Oh no! Did he get on the brakes as he did that? And we've just been robbed out of what was a great battle here. Oh, he got on the brakes just as he hit the bump, and that just sent him round. And that is the race over. Oh no, we have just been robbed of what could have been a great battle to the end. But it might not be over here, because yes, there's a big gap. But if Nagy kills his tyres, KB could close back in. We'll keep an eye on that. But let's go down the field, because Groot is closing on Dixon on a driver with a lot harder tyres here. And I think that is our closest battle here, because Brian is also being caught by Stu Shelton on softer tyres. Okay. So things aren't wrapped up here yet. Yes, we know Splash is 3rd, Pants is 4th. Nagy could drop off, his tyres could drop off if he kills them. But we'll have to wait and see. But Brian could get caught here by Stu Shelton. Dixon could get caught here by Groot. We've got 3.5 minutes left here at Blue Moon Bay. Dixon trying to break the slipstream. I don't think they're close enough. He's close enough for a slipstream as of yet, is Groot. But he might have to anyway. So that is such a shame. That was lining up to be one hell of a race between KB and Nagy. To the end, I think that was lined up to be. And just braking on the turn, clipping that bump just at the wrong time, just sent KB into a massive moment. And he's going to be so frustrated because he's going to know that he had a chance for victory tonight. KB. Splash in third, MVP Pants in fourth. Stu Shelton and Brian getting very close here, and so too is Groot and Nagy. Groot and Dixon, sorry. Groot and Dixon. So as he come down the straight, Brian's not quite close enough for a challenge, neither is Groot, but Dixon is finding the need to have to go defensive as we now come into turn one. We've got just over 2 minutes to go, and this is going to come down to the wire for these battles for 7th and 5th. Oh wait, hold on, Stu Shelton is through. What happened to Brian? Let's have a look. Oh, I didn't. Stu Shelton's already got past. I obviously have missed something here because I did not think that Stu Shelton was anywhere near close enough to pass. But Groot is close enough to pass Dixon. So we got 1 minute and 30 left, and Groot is on the back of Dixon. Is he going to go for the move into the 32nd hair? No, he's going to lose the rear. Dixon loses the rear. He's got damage to his rear left and his rear bumper. And that is his chance. 7th. Gone in dust. With a minute to go. Why do we keep getting robbed of these races? Nagy has 1 lap to go until he takes a victory here, and he will also take the championship. KB is in 2nd, Splash in 3rd, Pants in 4th, Stu Shelton 5th, 6th is Brian, who's actually being caught massively here from Dixon, so that could be a battle that comes down. So Dixon is really pushing that. Whoa, he loses the rear. Coming into that 2nd hairpin. Manages just about to hold on to it. Nagy come through the 2nd hairpin though. And has got 1 corner to go. And he's a lucky boy because those tyres are done. Stu Shelton comes home in 5th. Brian comes home in 6th. Dixon in 7th. But Nagy will come home to take victory here. Groot will come home in 8th, but Nagy takes victory here at Blue Moon Bay. A great battle between himself and KB, but it wasn't to be for KB. It was looking like he might have been able to hold on, but that bump on the inside, turning into the first corner, said otherwise. XR Splash. It looked to be such a promising start to the season, but at least he ends it off on the podium. It's a 3rd place for XR Splash, and it's a strong performance from MVP Pants to finish off the championship. He finishes in 4th spot. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and have a great afternoon stroke evening. I'll see you guys next time.